Hi everyone, it's Coach Luisa. I'm here to tell you guys an amazing story about Neville Goddard, which has been told numerous of times, but I would like to give you my twist because I'm honestly fascinated about this story. This is what made Neville believe in the law of assumption and become a success. In 1933, he was living in New York City in a small apartment on 75th Street. He had no money. He wasn't doing well. He felt like a failure, a, a big loser in his words, basically, that he had nothing going for him. And that year in 1933, his parents set sail to go to Barbados. He had no desire to go. That's where his family is from, but his family were all successful, and he had no desire to be around them because he didn't want to show them that he has no money, no clothing, has been living in a small apartment, dealing with all the failures of his life, working in the theater district, that he's making money for the whole year that he would be able to spend in a month. So during this time frame, he became really close friends with his mentor, Abdullah, who he worked together for him for 5 years to study Hebrew. And Abdullah was very wise and didn't like to be basically questioned. When he said something, it's his way or the highway. So whenever Neville came to him with problems and spoke to him, he would tell him what he felt and didn't want to hear anything else. It's like, this is how it is, and just basically stick to it. Something possessed Neville at this point. It just hit him out of nowhere, like a deep desire, a deep wanting. He's like, you know what? I do want to go to Barbados. Why should I not see my family? I haven't seen my family in years. I love my brothers. I love everybody. I need to go to Barbados. But I have no means to get there. Not a penny to my name. No clean clothing, nothing. I look like shams here. What am I going to do? So he went to Abdullah and he said to him, I want to go to Barbados. I realize I need to go there before Christmas. I want to see my family and be there for Christmas. So Abdullah was like, you've been there. You're there. You are in Barbados. This was so strange and so foreign to Neville. And he's like, no, I haven't been there. I'm not there. I don't know what you're talking about. I have not been to Barbados. So Abdullah was like, seriously, dude, you've been to Barbados. You are in Barbados. You are not walking the streets of New York City. Once you leave this door, you leave my space and you're heading out on the streets, you are not on 75th Street anymore. Okay? You're walking beautiful streets of palm-filled trees. Do you understand me? You are not in New York anymore. You are in Barbados. Leave here and know you are in Barbados. Neville is persisting. Abdullah, this is strange. I don't know what you mean. This is so strange to me. He says to him, Neville, do you want to be in Barbados? Neville responds, yes, I do want to be in Barbados. Then you are in Barbados. That is it. The end. Finito. That's it. You are in Barbados. Leave now and do not question me anymore. So, of course, right before he left, I was like, leave me. Neville said, but how? Abdullah's like, seriously, how? You do not ask the how. You do not ask the how. The how does not matter. What is the why. You want to be there and you're going to get there. You are in Barbados. Leave me now and don't focus on the how. You will be where you want to be. So 2 weeks later, we're in December. Neville was nowhere near his goal. So he went back to Abdullah and said, I've been doing what you're saying. I've been envisioning myself in Barbados. I'm sitting there. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the sun on my skin. I see myself in Barbados. I'm seeing the palm trees, but I'm nowhere near my goal. I still don't have money. I'm not well clothed. I'm not anything. It's December 3rd. The last ship is leaving December 6th. That's the last ship. If I miss that ship, I am not seeing my family for Christmas. Abdullah was like, I said what I said, and what I said is you're in Barbados. That's it. Storms out of room and closes the door because he does not like to be questioned. He knows what he says is solid. So now get this. When you persist and you don't waver, shit comes to you, okay? Being persistent is the key. The morning of December 4th, Neville gets up from his bed. A letter is shoved underneath his door. He's like, what's this? Takes the letter. It's stamped from Barbados. It's from his brother. He opens the letter and something falls right out of it. And he picks it up. It's a draft for $50. So then he opens it, the other part of the letter, and he's reading it. And his brother Victor is saying, listen, We have had many Christmases, years beyond years, that none of the family has been fully all together. So this is not an invitation, right? I'm not asking you. I'm giving you a command. You need to come to Barbados, okay? We all want the family together, and this is gonna be the first time in years that everybody is here, all the siblings, everyone. So you need to come. I'm not taking no for an answer. You better show up here. So here's your $50 to get yourself clothing so you can be well dressed and be confident while you are here. And I am going to go to the dock and I'm going to meet the boat and I'm going to pay for you to get here. You can get here and we will take everything and settle it for you. How amazing is that? 2 days before, what are the chances that he's going to get a letter 2 days prior to the last ship setting sail on December 6th of 1933? You gotta be kidding me. Like everything is falling in this man's lap. So Neville ran to go book his little cruise, his little ship to get to Barbados. So when he got there and he was speaking to them, they're like, okay, sir, we understand that you want first class. Because of course that's what he's going to ask for. Like, why would you want anything less than first class? So they're like, sir, we have so many people. We are overbooked. So from New York to St. Thomas, you're going to have to travel third class. But once you are at St. Thomas and we get the boat going to Barbados, you could switch on to first class. But just to accommodate you a little, even though you're going to be staying in a third class room, we're going to allow you to have first class dining and you could walk along the decks with the first class. So of course Neville's like, all right, I'm going to take them. I'm still going to get to Barbados. I'm dining with first class and all this stuff. He ran to go tell Abdullah with all excitement, thinking Abdullah was going to be happy for him. And Abdullah's like, and? He's like, what do you mean, and? I'm getting to Barbados and I'm going to be there for Christmas. And I'm traveling at some point in first class and I'm getting accommodations while I'm leaving New York. What's the problem? He's like, you are in first class. You deserve first class. You are traveling there in first class. Do not say anything else. You are in first class. So Neville's like, okay, I am in first class. Parted ways. They haven't seen each other because by the time he had to go on this trip on December 6th, when he got there and he was about to present them with his tickets and his paperwork and like all this stuff. And he's like, here I am. And they're like, Mr. Neville, how are you doing today? We have great news for you. He's like, you do? And they're like, yeah, we want you to know we had a cancellation. There's someone in first class who can't make it on this trip. So we are giving you that first class spot. You're going to be staying in a first class room. Like, oh my God, this is like the greatest thing. He didn't say, oh my God, that's just my interpretation of it. So he was so happy. And unfortunately, he didn't see Abdullah. So he couldn't go back and tell him that the manifestations worked. So he realized that he was the one that didn't have faith in himself and didn't believe he could achieve and have what he wanted. When his friend, his mentor, literally had faith in him and believed that he could achieve and have what he want and should not waver and should not sit there and think like, oh, well, I'm not going to get it. This is what's being presented to me and I'm not getting what I want. When you persist and you keep persisting, nothing could happen other than getting what you want, what you desired. That is how the law of assumption works. So from that day forth, Neville constantly sat there appreciating life, being grateful, woke up every day, visualizing his life and how it's going to be. And that is how his life went. Even with his wife, I have a wonderful story about him and his wife being married and how that worked out because he didn't want to get married and she did. So what did she do? She freaking visualized that shit and she was putting that, what he taught her with the law of assumption to just persist. And she got that. She ended up getting that ring on her finger. Okay. It's just so crazy how things work. I am so into the law of assumption. That's why I started taking the course. I became a law of assumption coach and law of attraction. The assumption I'm honestly liking better because you can conform your reality as long as you don't waver and you persist and everything works out in your favor. I just needed to share this story because reading it, I loved reading it. I love hearing about it. It's just amazing because when someone does have faith in you, and if that was someone that had faith and put it out there in the universe for Neville, imagine what you could do for yourself because no one's going to put you first and do all the extra work for you other than yourself. Unless you have somebody like Abdullah that's going to be like, shit, you got this and everything. I don't know. It's just like, it's really exciting that he's going to thinking he's going to be in third class and ended up getting first class. And who knew his brother was going to just send him money? Like, everything just fell into the guy's lap. And from there, he created so many beautiful success stories. All right. I hope you all enjoyed this. Take care. Ciao.